Cool. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the JK Book Gay Show. We are in the last few episodes of our holiday edition, but today we're going to talk about boundaries because as the holidays are in full force and we're getting closer to Christmas, we realize that it's harder for people in general, but specifically gay men, to have boundaries at home. So we wanted to use that this time today to talk about that. So, hi, Jake.
Hello, Kendra.
How are you?
I'm doing well, and we're finally in like
Full
pants,
winter gear.
Half winter gear.
That's about as winter as you get.
Basically.
Yeah.
Because sometimes like I'll wear a sweater, but then I get really hot.
Yeah.
But this is enough. Like it has holes too, so hopefully it's not showing too much.
How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. I ate way too much.
Yeah.
To the point where I was like, get this out of me.
Oh my God.
I basically made myself sick a little bit, but I ate a lot.
Oh my God. You saved that for the right conversation?
I ate way too much.
Yeah.
And I think my body was like,
we ain't used to all this.
May the power of Christ compel you.
Right.
But how was yours?
It was good. I was with you.
I know.
But no, it was good.
I took a nap.
Thanksgiving work has been a lot this year. And so there's a lot that I'm thankful for.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to spend some time at home to just like decompress.
Yes.
And so that's what I've been doing, is just kind of relax. Even though we've been doing something every single day.
Yeah.
I've been to like 2 concerts.
I know.
I was going all over the place, but yeah, so I'm just thankful this year. There's a lot to be thankful for.
I was so excited for you to come. And like, it was the first time you didn't have to cook in what, 9 years?
Yeah, something like that. I usually do it all by myself. All I had to do was make some pie. So it was good. It was good. But talking about, the discussion for today, we wanted to talk specifically about boundaries because it's something that I had to specifically relearn as I was growing up.
Same.
Especially because in Latino families, they are always all up in your business.
Yes. And it's like,
oh, that wasn't a question.
It's like when you tell one person, you're not just telling that one person.
Yeah.
Like your whole family's going to know.
Well, and then I've had to notice to get myself to stop doing that because I see you and Roger as my family.
Yeah.
Right. And like someone will call you and I'll be like, what do they want? And you're like, you'll just tell me instead of like, none of your business, homie.
Literally.
Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah.
Like either one of us, like you won't ask me, but you'll look at me like, who was that?
What happened?
What did they want?
I want to know.
Which is okay. I think that's not necessarily a boundary because we're kind of open like that. But those are the things that you think about, right? If you're like where you're constantly expecting information. So I have to deprogram myself to be like, you don't need to know everything about everybody. And it's not that I'm nosy in that way. It's just that that's the way my family was. They knew everything about everybody. So
I know. It's funny you say that because yes, every time like I'll get on the phone or Roger's like, oh, what happened?
Yeah.
And then same thing when he gets off, I was like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, I just want to know.
Yeah.
And sometimes
that's your husband. I feel like this is a little bit more appropriate. But for me, as your friend,
well, even
then,
like, oh, what happened? Like when you get on the phone, like, oh, who was that? You're like, that was my boss.
I was thinking about it because we went to dinner this week and my brother and I were like trauma dumping on you.
Yeah. And I was happy to help.
And you were like, oh my God, totally into the drama. Like we were doing that, but we do that with each other. We trauma dump on each other.
We do.
Yesterday, our little Thanksgiving moment turned into a trauma dump because we were like, what are you thankful for? And then everybody was like word vomiting.
I know. All of our church family was like, blah.
Yeah.
Like, here's what I'm thankful for, but here's also why.
Yeah.
Or like the drama.
I think it's good because I'm talking about oversharing in particular. I think it's good because it gets you to like get to know each other better.
Yeah.
But for growing up, for me, it's hard to really have boundaries. Did you have boundaries at home? Like, would your parents like knock on your door before they walked in?
No.
Yeah.
But we had to.
Well, of course. I want to see them doing that thing.
That's why.
Wait, but you could have been doing your thing too? Yeah.
I was gonna like
with Manuela? Damn, it took him a little bit.
It did take me a second.
You're like a woman with Manuel?
But yeah, actually, now that I think about it, I want to say like when I reached that point, they were. Oh yeah, probably because of that reason.
Your mom's like breaking towels in half. She's like, I have to knock. I have to knock now.
Not towels,
but they would just like walk in.
Yeah. Well, definitely. Like as I was a child, there was that age where I think that they were like, we have 2 boys. And then also like they had already gone through it with my brother. So who knows what happened with him. Yeah. But then they did start knocking on the door. Like when I was
of age.
have my door closed.
Got it.
Because usually I don't have my door. I remember not having my door closed that often.
Got it.
Like I never slept with my door closed. Like
it
was always open.
I didn't live in a house that had doors until growing up, I only lived with the house that had doors probably about 2 years. That's wild to you, right?
Wait.
Yeah.
Like no door. Like
I didn't have doors.
Like it was just, they took them off the hinges, or like they didn't even have hinges?
In my first house where I grew up, I think they just didn't have hinges. Like that was just like
it was
the
like
house.
almost like a studio type of feel.
It was big. We had bedrooms. It was like 3 bedrooms, but
right. But like it was just
no
like
door. I only lived in a house for about 2 years that had doors. Yeah. So there was no boundaries. It's just like walking in.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And your parents, did they have a door too?
No. I know, it was weird. It was weird.
Interesting.
When I was in high school, I created a door. It was a Mexican flag.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm just like so shocked that you don't have doors.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How did that fester into like the boundary situation for you and your family?
I wasn't too bad with it with boundaries. I think what the hardest part with boundaries for me was that as a gay man or as a gay kid growing up, you start to create a life of secrecy. And I created 2 versions of myself, right? The version that I was in my head and the version that I was to everybody else, because I'm trying to hide who I was.
Yeah. Who you already knew you were.
Yeah.
But you were trying to,
But the family, I knew the family wouldn't be okay, or I thought the family wouldn't be okay with it. So that's who I was hiding. So, So it wasn't really boundaries. It was more, I mean, it was 2 spaces of reality, but it was boundaries, but it became more of secrecy for me. And that's where it became toxic, because I got really good at like having secrets from people, hiding things from people.
Interesting. Because you're horrible at it now.
I know.
Like you'll buy me something and you're like, I bought you something and this is what it is.
You know what it was?
Like, you could have waited to gift it to me.
I have a friend who lives in Washington State, who watches the show, so she'll know what I'm talking about. But I was going through a moment with a partner, not a partner, like a prospective partner.
Okay.
And I was just hiding things from him, right?
Got it.
Like for no reason. There's like no reason to lie. There's no reason to hide things from people. And she told me, as long as you tell the truth, no matter what, you'll always be in the right. And since then, I've always told the truth. Damn. It was just like something that clicked in my mind that she had to tell me of like, just always tell the truth no matter how much it hurts, because the lie always hurts more and the secret always hurts more. Yeah. And so since then, I am like word vomit about everything.
Oh, that's so true. Because it could hurt. It hurts, I feel like, both that person.
Right. Because
and then the other person.
There's the what am I trying to say? There is the hiding, like the intentionality, right? It's first degree at that point, right? Because it's premeditated. That's what it is, because you're premeditating the lie.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. So the secrecy, like growing up and like knowing you're gay, and that component mixed in with the like Latino culture where like like if you tell one person, the entire family's gonna know, that caused you, even when you came out, like that secrecy component was still there? Yes. Because like for me,
I had to teach myself not to be like that.
Interesting. I think for me, like I did like the aspect of kind of, this is me being like, we're all chismoso, right? Yeah. My entire family. But I like that part. I like knowing. And it's not, and it's that in and of itself, right? Like I like to know what's going on, like what's happening with my cousins, what's happening with my uncles and my tias and tios and my grandparents and all that stuff. But I do remember that secrecy part, like being heavy on me. So when I did come out, I feel like that was the breaking point for me to be like, all right. Yeah. I'm good. Like I don't want to have secrets because I didn't like the way it felt.
I think there's a big difference between secrecy and transparency. And what you're describing is transparency. Oh. And I think for me, as a gay man, I got used to secrets instead of being transparent, right? And so that is the difference. Oh, got it. That's the difference. So it takes a lot of therapy to get from secrecy to transparency, right? And so transparency doesn't mean you're oversharing. It just means if we're having a conversation about a situation, I want you to be completely aware of everything going on. Yeah. That's the difference.
Interesting. And I feel like I'm super transparent. And now I'm trying to think, like, was I always like that? I feel like there's going to be another thing.
Watch literal every episode of this show and see if you feel the same way.
I feel like I'm very private.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that, would we consider that like the same?
You're transparent. You're transparent when it matters.
Yeah.
Like you don't let people see things that like, I'm not trying to understand you and missing a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah. Yeah, because I can be an open book and I can word vomit quite often, but
once you're comfortable.
Yes, I have to get to that point.
Only took 3 or 4 years, but we got you there.
We did. It only took a show,
and now I'm like, can we go back? Can we go back to secrecy?
Like, can you stop sharing all your secrets?
No, never that. Never that.
No, but that's so interesting because even now, well, and I know we'll talk about it in a bit, but like not having boundaries, I feel like I feel like it's hard for me to create boundaries now.
Yeah. Well, we'll get in that in just a second.
We'll get in just a second.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this week. I just wanted to take some time because last time we left out the message to like this video and y'all didn't like the video. So right now, make sure you're taking the time to like the video, or if you're listening to us on Spotify, make sure you're liking the episode, sharing the episode. The best outreach and reach we've gotten from this show have been from people sharing it with others. So please share it with someone that you love or someone that you think would love the message. And we'll get back to the show. So one thing I wanted to talk about specifically when it comes to boundaries is that we had a post recently that got a lot of engagement because you had said that it was a red flag for gays not to have gay friends, right? Can you explain what you meant? Because I don't think you literally meant that.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think like just because you don't have a gay friend, if you're gay and you don't have gay friends, I don't think you're a bad person in any sense of the word. I just think
I don't even think it's the red flag.
That itself is not. It's like it was more of the platonic, like
if there's an inability for you to be friends with other gays,
right? Then it's a red flag,
right?
But I also feel that way about like heterosexual people.
Yeah,
like I'm like, why can't maybe? And this is maybe not my space, but whatever, I'm gonna say it anyways. Like, why can't men, a heterosexual male, be friends with a heterosexual female? I think they can.
Yeah.
Even if they have like a significant other or whatnot. But
I think there's the same thing though. I think both situations and why people wouldn't like it is aiming at the same thing. Is because there's always going to be that attraction, or there always could be that potential of attraction that makes people feel uneasy. So I wanted to go through some of the comments because one of the most interesting things that I found is that we started this show because we knew that we are outliers. We know that our friendship is not a part of what most gay men are experiencing in this world, right? Because a lot of the comments we saw, there was a lot of talk about competition, that's wild. Which we talked about before. Yeah, that's how we started the show.
Yeah.
A bunch of cattiness, which I think is really interesting. There was also some about like they're all sleeping with each other, like friend groups. There's a lot of drama between them. Everybody wants to be Regina George. Thankfully, that hasn't been our experience.
Not at all.
And so even then, we always like sort of temper it. But I think it's because of boundaries. And that's why I wanted to talk about it in this segment, because I think it has to do a lot with boundaries. That if you set boundaries and know how to set boundaries, then that eliminates the ability to have some of these like things that they were hearing. So what do you think overall while I look at these comments?
Yeah, I'm interested to hear the comments because I don't read them as much as Kendrick, but I'm engaged.
Usually it's me getting beat up. I was like watching you like, all right.
I'm always like, Kendrick, tag me in, coach, whenever you need me, because I can go a long time without social media.
Yeah. So some of the comments we got about why gays aren't friends with other gay men was someone wrote, "I choose peace and solitude," which is wild because this friendship brings me a lot of peace and solitude.
A lot of peace.
Not solitude, but peace.
I say peace. Like literally even just this week.
Right.
We hadn't seen each other for 3 weeks almost?
Yeah. You jinxed it last time.
And that literally.
You said we don't go more than 2 weeks. And then
literally.
we went 3 weeks. And we went 3 weeks.
And literally I would text him like
every other day. That's how I know he missed me, because he texted me.
And then I would say like, I'm so sad.
Right.
Because I haven't seen you so long.
Right.
Like it would literally like make me sad if I thought about it. And then so randomly my husband was like, let's go to dinner.
Yeah.
And I was like, because
we ended up trauma dumping on you. That's the dinner I was just talking about.
That's the dinner with your brother. But yeah, because we hadn't seen each other. Like I think we traveled and then y'all traveled.
Yeah.
And then just life got in the way, I guess we can say. But that's so wild that like the peace and solitude, because I felt like I wasn't at peace. Like I felt like I was missing something.
Yeah, there were so many comments that specifically said like they all criticize me. They don't feel like I'm the right gay. And it just broke my heart, because it doesn't mean that just because that doesn't happen to me doesn't mean I don't know it exists. But I think it has a lot to do with boundaries. Like we need to create boundaries in friendships. I feel like you and I have a lot of boundaries in general about how we have for the outside world that doesn't allow us to be disrespectful to each other in any way.
Oh, right? Absolutely.
But like when they were saying like that they were like drama, or they were always starting drama with them, that is wild to me. I'm like,
I cannot imagine. We had one fight and I was like, KMS.
Yeah. Which fight are you talking about? There was multiple fights, right?
No, just like recently? The main one.
I thought there was one recently.
Oh, the one that you said on the show.
Oh, that wasn't a fight. That wasn't a fight.
That was just let's clear the air.
Yeah. But I think that it's because you and I are okay having these conversations.
Yes.
Like we said before, we're not sleeping with each other. So it's not like that part. But sorry, I interrupted you. You were going to say something.
No. I just think like we want to be very clear. Like boundaries are not negative.
No.
And I think that, and I'm trying to like put it in my head, like, cause that came to my mind right now. And I was like, why did I want to say that? Obviously there's a reason, but I'm trying to put like 2 and 2 together in my head. But I feel like growing up,
I think a lot of gays want to be liked. And they feel like if they
get that.
A lot of gays are pick-me's, and it's not their fault. It's like the way we've never been picked.
And it's a society, I feel.
Right.
Like it's growing up, how we were literally trying to hide ourselves.
Right.
And I think that's where my mind was coming, because like we may sometimes feel, and I'm trying to like make it a broad sense. I know this is not for everybody, but as growing up, because we were gay and we were trying to hide it.
Yeah.
I feel like we created that boundary in our head and we didn't want that.
Yeah.
So now as adults, some individuals who identify as gay may think that having boundaries is bad.
Yeah.
Because that's what they did growing up. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like, no.
But I think it goes back to the pick me part. There are a lot of gays that are pick me's, and I think it's because a lot of parts of our lives were never chosen. And so we are growing up just to impress. And you have to, the only way you can get out of that, I mean, me, it took a lot of therapy to get me out of that. Like, you have to deconstruct that in your mind to be able to do that. But if you don't go to therapy, if you're not, you're doing the work on yourself, right? Then even in friendships and relationships, you're having these experiences where it's talking about competition. That is so wild to me. I think I've said it from the beginning of the show, is that like the fact that gays experience so much competition is so wild to me, because I don't look at any of my friends and say, I am genuinely happy for everything that happens with you. And I am like your number one supporter, and I'm trying to push you forward. But I think it was because it started because we were good. We were already well established and knew ourselves before. Right. But it still was just heartbreaking to see the comments.
And I feel like even for me, like I'm definitely also an outlier in the sense, like I've known my husband since I was 20. Yeah. Actually, I was 19 when I met him. Yeah. And so I basically grew up with him by my side. So I knew, like, as far as like the friendships between gay individuals, I feel like I was just, I was able to have like a very secure relationship with him first and foremost. Yeah. So then anybody else that like I have as friends, like I was just a little bit more, it was maybe a little bit more easier for me. Yeah. Because I knew I already had like a partner that I could talk to. I could really just be myself around and like kind of go through life essentially and grow up in that sense.
What does it take to have great friends and to be great friends with other gay men? Because I feel like you and I do a really good job of it, but what do you think it takes?
I think you're right as far as like those boundaries. Yeah. Again, all really good things. Like we don't disrespect one another.
Never.
But I also, this is like, I don't know if this is like the opposite of boundary, but like if there is a problem, we've learned to like be like, what's going on?
We're transparent.
Like transparent. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like, so I don't want to say that's like a boundary because it's not, but like, I feel like we have almost like a said rule or like an unsaid rule thing. Like, well, we've told each other, but like, I know I'm bad at that too. Like I will sometimes be like, it's okay. Like it's fine or whatever.
Yeah. But I think some of that is figuring out like, am I overreacting? Because there's been times where I don't bring stuff up to you, like I said before. And I was like, am I overreacting about that? Is that even that big of a deal?
That's
like,
true.
And then it festers and I bring it up on the show.
Yeah. And then I get hate.
Right.
I'm just kidding. No, but I think the boundaries is a huge thing. Like also just knowing our friendship and like with our husbands, like as far as friends sleeping with one another, like that is the furthest from the truth for us. Like we know we don't have to worry about that.
Right. One of the comments I got was I was friends with a bunch of gays and they wouldn't stop texting my boyfriend. That was from multiple comments. I'm like, maybe I don't pull that off with my face. Like maybe people know not to try me like that. Yeah. But that was such a foreign concept to me that they were texting like their friends. Their friends. The people that were trying to be. Right. It'd be like you texting my man. That doesn't even begin to register in my man. I mean, in my head.
Your mind. So they were actively trying to get the boyfriend.
And it was multiple comments. It was multiple comments of people. When I posted the clip of you, right? Yeah. There were multiple comments that were saying, I can't post or I can't be friends with other gays because every gay I've tried to be friends with was texting my man inappropriately or trying to sleep with him.
What?
And there were people saying that they were friends before they met the new person.
They were friends.
They'd be like me and you being friends, and I go meet somebody.
Oh, and then I text the
right,
new one.
As in like this is the
damn.
This should have been solid.
This is the line, yeah.
But that stuff, I'm like, boundaries and stuff. I'm like, I feel like that shit shouldn't have to be brought up. I shouldn't have to tell you shouldn't be texting my man inappropriately. You know what I mean?
Right. And I think like that's what I'm trying to like, even like as far as like saying like we have boundaries, but they're not really even boundaries. They're just like knowing the respect for one another.
There's an authenticity about like we are genuinely on each other's side, right?
Yes.
Like we talked about it before in the show. Like I don't think about you or your husband, even my husband, in competition at all.
Right.
I'm like they're not in my lane at all. We're all doing very different things, and that's important too. But where do you think that competition comes from? We've talked about it on the show before, but because you say you've experienced that and you like think about it in your head, but
it's definitely internalized.
Yeah.
It's definitely internalized. Like I won't be like, oh, he has this or this person has this. Like, I'm going to do better. Yeah. It's never that. It's more like, I want to do better for myself. If that is something that I want to achieve, if it's something, and usually it's work related, I'm not going to lie. Like it's work related, like in the sense of like a title or salaries or just like professionally.
Why does it manifest itself most at work for you?
I think because I don't have any boundaries at work.
Yeah, we'll get into that in just a second. I also think it's probably where you have the most complexes, and where you're
imposter syndrome.
Not necessarily that. I think it's the least place where you are absolutely freaking. How do I say this?
Gay.
No, I think it's the one place in your life where, because that's how work is, where you don't have complete control.
Oh, yes.
And so much is relying on the way other people perceive you. And that's not the way it is in your marriage. That's not the way that it is in your friendships. That's not the way it is in your home, your family, any of that. So I think it's the place where you feel most, I hate using insecure, but it's the least stable. Because you feel stable, but it's the least stable.
Yes. Yeah, because there's so many factors, especially, and I've dealt with it already. Like the fact that like I have multiple teams that I'm working with, and like I don't have control over some of the items, and I'm like, okay, I gotta let that go.
Yeah. Or even your advancement or your everything, every aspect of your job is not anybody's job. It's not controlled. So I think that's probably why it manifests itself the most.
Probably.
So I think the lesson there is to become secure in your life before you make friends. It doesn't mean you have to have it all figured out. No. What I'm just saying is like, if there are complexes that you have, if you know you're a competitive person, get those things figured out before you try to make friends with other people, because then that's where the toxic side of it comes out and you become competitive.
Right.
Or you become catty. That's really interesting to me, because there was a lot of cattiness about like people were catty to each other.
Yes, the one comment I saw was something about them being catty, and then you mentioned like they try to be like Regina, or they're like Regina George.
Yeah, it's like a Regina George concept. Like people are trying to be Regina George. That's wild to me.
That's like they want to have almost like a Real Housewives of, I don't know.
Yeah,
gay TikTok.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
but why was that the lesson that we took from Mean Girls? You know what I mean? Like, why was that the lesson that we took from Mean Girls of like...
Now, like, don't push each other in front of a fucking bus.
Everybody wants to be Regina George. That's wild to me.
Right. Why does no one want to be...
Who's the Regina George of our group?
You.
Why?
I don't know.
I am not the Regina... You're like, you feel this way because you are actually the Regina George of the group.
Well, I just probably like me, and I like
no,
just like internalize
you're probably Karen.
I'm like, I probably am.
My husband's a weatherman, so he has to be Karen.
Oh, there's a 30% chance that
it's already raining. Mm-hmm.
He's definitely Karen. No, I honestly feel like none of us are really Regina.
No,
I feel like this is gonna sound weird, but like I feel all three of us, my husband, you, and I, are like Katie. We're all like Katie, and then not even, because like we don't even try to fit in.
I think we're like Katie with Janice, with Janice and the other friend,
and Ian.
Yeah,
I'm Ian.
Yeah, to get function.
Right, but like none of work. Let me go here.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I truly don't. I don't think any of us are Regina.
Yeah.
And we'll joke about it, but like.
But I think, again, the is to have boundaries. Like, hey, I'm not going to allow myself to be disrespected.
Right.
Because I think the first time you're disrespected, you should bring it up and allow yourself to not be, hey, this is, I don't know how it is with other friend groups.
Yeah, but
for me, I don't operate this way. Yeah. And now if I misunderstood you, let me know.
Right.
But if I didn't, then you need to know if this is who you are as a person, or if you're working on it, that's fine too.
Yeah.
So that I know to just sort of walk the other way.
Do you think that a conversation like that comes easy for a lot of people?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I feel like it took us a while to have really deep conversations like that about uncomfortable things.
Right. And not just, and like, yes, not just like an argument. It's like literally like just talking about
uncomfortable things.
Shit.
There are like our deepest
darkest secrets are not the deepest darkest secrets for
right, but they were for a while.
They were. Yes.
It
took that comfortability.
It had nothing to be about within either one of us.
Right.
We just needed to feel safe and feel comfortable, and that sometimes that just takes time.
Yeah.
But until then, you cannot disrespect your friends because then you're never going to get to that point. But I am blessed to have a great friendship with you, great friendship with your husband, with my husband. I think, and that's what I love the most about it is the individual part too. There are certain ways that I talk to you that I wouldn't talk to them, or there's certain things that I handle you in a certain way that I wouldn't handle them. Yeah. But I think
it's like we know how to, like we have that EI to where we know how to adjust to one another.
Yeah.
And then when we're all together, we're just like,
yeah,
we kiki and we just, we know how to go.
So how else are we perfect?
We're gorgeous. We're beautiful smiles.
Yeah.
We like Linda Evangelista.
You know, one of the things that they mentioned there too, I know I'm going over here, but one thing they mentioned too was how much like attractive people only want to hang out with attractive people.
I mean, they're not wrong.
Yeah, but I don't know where that comes from because I'm not like, I think you're very attractive, but I'm not trying to sleep with you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So where does that even come from? I think it had a lot more to do with us having a lot in common than it did us. Now, if we both happen to be attractive, if that was a commonality, but I thought about that too, because I'm like, I'm just going to sound weird.
Say it.
I was like, I started thinking to myself, do I have ugly friends? Like, but what does that even mean? What
I was going to say
that's
such like an arbitrary.
Unattractive is probably a better way to say that. Because what the comments was, you know, there is a lot, and they talked about it. There's a lot of fat phobia in the gay community. There is a lot of racism in the gay community, way too much. And so I think for me as a friend, I constantly tell myself in my mind that I can't be like that. Because there's so much of it. Like, what can racism is a little bit easier because that's more like a human thing where I'm like, I know for a fact that that's it takes work. Don't get me wrong, but it's like you have to think about the way that you're presenting yourself in this world. But when it comes to things about like being fat phobic and like, I'm like, I didn't even think that people think like that when they're getting friends. Like, I don't look at my friends and wait, that's like, wild to me and see like, do I want them to be my friend? Like,
that's so unfortunate.
Yeah.
And then especially coming from someone like who has body image issues, like, that's traumatizing.
But do you think that's probably why there's a lot of body image issues, but for a lot of additional body image issues in the gay community because we're judging each other by our bodies?
Yes. Yes.
So it's re-traumatizing for someone who already has body image issues.
Right. And I think a lot of people are like that. Like, they already coming with it, with that trauma, and then it's just like a re-traumatization
in the place where you're supposed to feel the most
when
comfortable.
Yes, because these are your people, and it's like it shouldn't matter. It should not matter. And I'm also very intentional. I'm like, I will talk to anybody and everybody.
You will.
I think they have to talk to me first, though.
You will. I'm like, Jake, stop talking. Oh my God.
They have to talk to me first, not because I'm just a shy person. Like it takes a lot of energy for me to start those conversations. But I love making new friends all the time. Like I will talk someone's ear off. Yeah. Like day in and day out. But I do feel like in the gay community there is a lot of fat phobia, and honestly, it just needs to stop.
Yeah. How do we make it stop?
It's gonna be super hard.
Because I think social media made it much worse.
And it makes it much worse. Like even for me, like I will be my what's it called? Not For You page. No, when you search
your timeline. Oh,
the search
your
page.
Explore page.
The Explore page. When I go on there, I'm like, all of these men are gorgeous, 6-packs, like pecs.
Is it because you want to look like them or because you want them? Not you want them, but you find them attractive.
Well, I definitely think that they're attractive, but like, I think it is because I want a body like that, and I don't. And then I'm just like, well, fuck FML, like fuck my life, because I don't look like that. So
I told you what I do. Go eat. Right?
You're like, they probably can't read.
Right. Let them read out loud. I want to hear. I love seeing influencers like that. I love seeing influencers that are really attractive. That's why the influencers. That's why I don't crush on people on Instagram, but I crush on them on TikTok. On TikTok, because I can hear them talk, and I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, and they go, oh, I pulled a
I know. No, I'm saying the ones that do talk. I crush on the ones that like actually
that have that.
The ones that have it all.
The intelligence.
Yeah. I told you the bilingual. I showed you the bilingual guy that I'm like, oh my gosh.
The one from
Yep.
Got it. Yep. I was like, long hair, short hair.
But anyway, let's talk about. We'll get into just a second about the boundaries that we have to have as adults now.
Yes.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Let me make sure I got that right.
What are you doing?
23. Why do you have 23 versions of All I Want for Christmas Is You on your phone? 23 versions. Is Mariah's not enough?
Some of those are not the same song.
Yes, they are.
No, All I Want for there's two All I Want for Christmases.
No, there's not.
I promise you.
Okay, let's just say that half of them are broken even. Why do you have 12 versions of All I Want for Christmas Is You on your phone? What is wrong with you? Mariah's isn't enough? That's a legitimate question. Mariah's isn't enough?
It is. But that's my all-time favorite. But I just love hearing all the different renditions.
What? 24 versions. 24 versions of All I Want for Christmas Is You is on your phone. Stop gay men today. Stop gay men.
Don't piss me off by saying I have too many All I Want for Christmas versions on my phone.
Are you ready for Christmas?
I am so ready.
So he's a Grinch. He's a Grinch except for Christmas. It's like his thing. What are you most excited for?
I love the feeling. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I just love the feeling of having my Christmas tree up, having my decorations up.
Yeah.
My husband and I, we picked the colors and we already did that. But I will listen to Christmas music November 1.
Yeah. I want to applaud you for something. I feel like a lot of people lose interest in the holidays when they lose someone close to them. And I feel like you were really intentional about saying, I'm going to keep this going forward. What did that take?
Oh, a lot.
I didn't ask you about this. I'm sorry if I get you emotional.
No, it's okay. I love this question, actually. Mm-hmm. I will never forget when I gave like my speech at my dad's funeral. Mm-hmm. It was November 21st. And I was like, I was like, I know you're up there like listening to Christmas music. Yeah. And that made me so happy. Yeah. Like, because we would always, and not just my dad and me, like, but my entire family, my mom, I don't know my brother, but my mom, we would always listen to Christmas music. Like 101.9 growing up, it was on all the time. Yeah. And I loved it. And my dad would always put on the lights and like put it on the house and we would decorate inside. And I would just like love the feeling of like being with family and being there all together. And so after he passed, we had a house at that time, and our other house. And I remember it was a 2-story.
Oh, you're going to tell the Christmas light story?
Oh my gosh. Yes. So I would get up and I didn't realize I was scared of heights until I got my house. Like I tried to get up on the ladder, like all the way to the second floor, and I couldn't. Like I was climbing the ladder and I was like, I can't do this. Like this is too scary for me. Yeah. So then I would have to get onto the first floor level and then get another ladder and then go to the second floor on that sense. But I was putting on the Christmas lights one year. And it was the year your dad passed, no? No, the next year. Okay. Because I had already
yeah, it was because the anniversary was coming up, no?
Yes. No, it was like his 1 year anniversary. Yeah. And I was on the roof and I had a full blown panic attack. Because I was like up there and I got super scared because it was also, if I remember correctly, it was like windy. Dumb on my part.
There are a lot of red flags here that I'm like, it's just like safety things. Like this is why we need OSHA at homes.
Literally, because I was like
not strapped in, no like
nothing. Yeah, nothing. 2-story, like all on the second floor roof, and I had to lay there. I was laying there crying, and I was just like talking to my dad to like help me get down because I don't know how to get down. And I was very intentional on not hiring anybody to do my lights. I was like, I wanted to do them because I remembered that was something that we had bonded over, like growing up. And so I was like, no, I want to do this. Like, this is what I'm gonna do. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it got to the point where I was like, Roger, you're gonna have to call the fire department. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna get down. I really didn't. And
Oh my
I
gosh.
literally had to wait there for a while, and Roger had to like talk me through it. And like,
At least he was there.
and I had always told him, I was like, I need you outside. Like
Yeah.
be there. That way, if I scream, like you can see where I am or what's happening.
You know where I'm going to fall?
Literally, you can come and help me. But yeah, like that was probably the scariest moment because like I had never experienced a panic attack like that.
Yeah.
And it was so intense, but I was also like, I wanted to do it so bad because like if I didn't, I feel like I was going to fail.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. I was going to be like, this is not.
Yeah, I was going to make things worse mentally for you. You
for
felt
sure.
like it was going to.
For sure.
No, thank you for sharing that. I'm really happy.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah, I think it was important because I think a lot of people allow themselves to be sad over the holidays. And I get it. I get that they're missing people. But when you do that, you are not allowing joy to come from something so dark and something that you're missing, right? Yes. You're not honoring them in a way that allows you to just celebrate their life, right?
Yeah.
And what they meant to you. I think it was harder for you because it was so close to the holidays. I think that was so I think that was really amazing. And I think just in the gay world in general, though, I will never forget the first time I realized, first of all, we are very lucky to have the families that we have.
Very.
And I didn't realize until I was older that people have bad parents.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that until I was much older. I thought it was just normal standard to have loving parents,
right? To
have parents that put you first or that are always looking out for you. I thought that was so normal until I got older. Then I'm like, and that's not unique to gays. I think just in general, people just have shitty parents.
Right.
And so it makes me honor my parents even more. But I remember the first time that I realized that gays weren't as close to their families as I was. And it was when I lived in DC. I remember I stayed in DC for a reason. I think money was tight. And so I was like, I'm not going to go home. My mom was like really upset that I wasn't going home. It was like a whole thing. Yeah. But I went out to the gay club and it was so packed. And I remember talking to people that night and they're like, no, I can't go home.
Wait, this is Christmas?
Mm-hmm. Like I can't go home. It's not that I didn't want to go home or because people in DC usually have a lot of money. So it's like, it's not that I didn't want to fly home, but it's like my family doesn't accept me how I am. So I can't go home. And so it's just something I want to remember because as with the holidays, right, there are a lot of gays that are by themselves for the holidays and might not see things the way that other people see holidays. And just for all of us to just be considerate of that's the case often for some of us. I think it's getting better, but it still doesn't mean it's not out there anymore.
I would just hope I just want to open my home to all of those individuals because that's so. I'm very blessed in that sense. I've never been to a bar on holidays because I'm always with family. Yeah. Like with Thanksgiving.
Yeah. It's really
Christmas.
It's really packed.
New Year's. Mm-hmm. I've never been to a bar on those days.
Yeah. And I think gay bars specifically stay open for that reason. I know back in the day they used to, but they would stay open because they knew that at a time where most people in the world are spending time with their family, there are gays that don't have anybody to go home to. Oh my God. And so they go to that as their safe space. Yeah. Which is why I tell people, when they're thinking about gays, sometimes don't give people shit for going out so much or for being at bars so much. Sometimes that's their only safe space.
Yeah, that's their family. And then also the other part, and I can't remember if we said this last time, but we start life later. Yeah. Essentially. Yeah. On that point though. Yeah. I think starting life later means that you have to put boundaries as an adult. What part of your life, and I think we've already talked about this, but what part of your life is it hardest for you to set boundaries? Oh, work. 1,000%.
Why is that?
I think because, and you kind of said it earlier as far as I know, how do I say this? I know where I want to go, as far as my career. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like I'm definitely in that old school mentality in that sense of you have to be a yes man mm-hmm. in order to get to the next step or you have to play the game. Yeah. Whatever the game is. Yeah. And so that has been instilled in me. Yeah. And so I don't know how to get rid of that to be I'm learning actually. Mm-hmm. I'm learning actually as we speak. And I feel like some people are not used to that. Yeah. But I'm
they're not used to you being like that because here's the thing. For me, I used to have the exact same answer. And it took a really shitty situation for me to get out of that and realize how much I was being taken advantage of. And so sometimes it requires, I'm not saying you, I'm saying just in general.
No, but I think that about myself.
Yeah. So I it's also easier to do that when you have a new job. Remember, we've had this conversation. When you start a new job, you can walk in with your boundaries.
Right.
You walk in with your boundaries, and it's just something you have to learn as you get older. Because no matter, there are things that you're putting up with now that you would never allow your next employer to do. And so that's what I would tell you as for me. Because that's what it was for me. Thankfully, I have a job that allows me to have boundaries, that allows me to kind of like, have this space for me. But boundaries are hard. Boundaries are hard. And I think as adults, you learn how to be good at it. You learn how to be good at setting boundaries. And for me, the hardest part for me to set boundaries is with family. I know that sounds weird.
Interesting.
But it's the hardest place for me to place boundaries because I feel like I'm bound to them by blood. And I'm bound to them in a way that is unbreakable, which is fine. Doesn't mean I allow myself to be taken advantage of, but I think, and my family doesn't take advantage of me, thankfully. I've seen,
we've seen it happen.
Yes,
for sure.
Of families that take advantage of their kids. I am blessed that that's not my situation in my family, but I just, I think that it's great to kind of have boundaries. So I would just encourage everybody to make sure you're setting boundaries. We know that when the holidays come around, it's harder to have boundaries with family, and it's hard to have boundaries at work because everybody's taking off. You have more people have things to do.
Right.
It's the end of the year. What people don't realize about work though and boundaries is like things get worse at the end of the year because all of the bosses are trying to make their quotas for bonuses. And so just know that some things that are happening in your workplace are because they're trying to make their quotas, y'all. They're trying to get that bonus. They're like, oh my God, they're laying off before Christmas. Yes. So they can see how much money they saved and, figure out where they think. But anyway, let me get off my little soapbox. But do you want to do do you have a Don't Piss Me Off?
Do I have a Don't Piss Me Off? I thought I did. You go first though.
No, but I want you to introduce because we haven't done it in 2 weeks. And I love your introduction.
Yes. Okay. So if you are watching for the first time, make sure you like the show. Make sure you comment.
Oh my God. Yes.
Anything. Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention, I was going to mention earlier, like I'm kind of growing out my facial hair.
I wish you would do the mustache, but you won't do it.
If you like my facial hair, like it. If you don't, share it until somebody does like it.
Dang, not dislikes.
If you don't share it, that way someone else can like it. No, but so every episode we have a segment. It's called Don't Piss Me Off. And this is our time where we just get petty, get real, get emotional, whatever the case is about the topic that we're talking about. So today, being boundaries, we're gonna talk about something that pisses us off about boundaries or the holidays around that time. So I'm gonna pass it over to you first because I
think when it comes to me, don't call me dramatic for setting boundaries on myself and setting boundaries with others, because I think especially with family, especially in Latino families, they say, oh, he's particular, right? Or he's always got something to say, or he's always setting a standard. No, those are my boundaries. Those are things that I've created as an adult. So as you're approaching the holidays, as we're in the holidays, make sure that you're setting boundaries and don't let anybody tell you that you can't have boundaries. Only you know what's good for you, and only you know what's comfortable for you. So just make sure that you remind yourself that as we go into the holiday season.
Absolutely. And whether it's family, whether it's work, friends, boundaries are good.
Yeah.
First and foremost, because I can't harp on that because I think I did learn that in therapy. Like, no, boundaries are actually a good thing.
Yeah,
like, it's good for you and it'll help others. And for people that if you have never created boundaries, sometimes you'll get pushback, but it's okay. It's gonna work out at the end.
if you're creating boundaries and you get pushback, it's because it's usually from people who are used to taking advantage of you. So use that as an indicator. If you are getting pushback on your boundaries, that it's the first time that you're questioning them about taking advantage of you, and that's why they're upset about it.
You know what? I think that's my Don't Piss Me Off.
Give it to us.
My Don't Piss. Just rewind for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's no. But my Don't Piss Me Off is just that. Like when I created boundaries, I'm not being mean. Don't give me pushback because you think I'm mean or because you think I don't like you or whatever the case is. Like, no, I am doing it for myself, for the protection of myself. Don't take advantage of me. And not saying that I don't.
You don't have to preface it.
I'm so bad at that.
You don't have to preface it.
I'm so bad at it.
That's the thing about boundaries though, right? Is that it has to be stern. It has to be. I'm not saying that that's you. But at the boot fix, motherfucker, lace that hoe up.
You're right. Don't give me pushback. And then my other Don't Piss Me Off is this is kind of like funny, but also like don't piss me off because I start listening to Christmas music on November 1st. It brings me so much.
Go up. You're too old for that. Sorry, go on. I'll let you finish.
No, but it's like it just brings me so much joy, and it like puts me in such a calming mood. And so when I'm going to work in the morning, or if I'm going to work out, or wherever I'm going, like it just like I feel so calm.
Do what works for you.
Yes.
All right.
Always.
Well, thank you, everybody. We will see you for our last episode of JK But Holiday in 2 weeks. So see you next time.